Hello everybody! Thank you for visiting my channel. I originally came from San Francisco, and now I'm in Northern California, Canyon Lake. Everywhere I want to go, I have to drive a car. I'm not a big fan of driving. Then pool is the only walkable place I can go. And then probably I'm the only Japanese living in Canyon Lake. I'm getting very bored. And I met a very nice lady. She wanted to go to the beach. She likes the sound of the beach. It can be very relaxing. So she invited me to the Crystal Cove. So here we are.
Crystal Cove is about an hour and a half on the Coast Highway south of LA. From Newport Beach, it's about 10 minutes. This little area is started back in the 20s and 30s when the movie industry wanted to make a movie and not have to travel all the way over to Hawaii. They found this vacant beach, and the Irvine family talked with them and said, yes, you may make a movie here. And they put several little cottages and trees up for the movie and then just left them and moved away. And so after this had happened several times, friends of the Irvine family saw these cottages and wanted to stay in them over the summer. And so they talked with Mr. Irvine, and he said, sure, go ahead. And so it was a temporary thing for summer, which eventually some people stayed all year round. And this is a sample of one of the buildings. This is the office where they paid their rent. That's the front door. The family they paid the rent to. And in 1956, this is a lease on Cottage 37 for the third quarter, and the cost is $87.50. So they paid that 4 times a year to stay here. The people, in the summertime, the mothers and the children would stay here all summer, and the fathers would go to Anaheim or Fullerton, wherever, and work. But then they would come back on the weekends, and they would have this marvelous party, and they would put up the martini flag at 4 o'clock and have wonderful parties together here. So at our little restaurant, we do have a martini flag that they put up, and they play the bugle, and we acknowledge them at that time. Let me think if there's anything else I want to tell you. Yeah, we have a sample of the, we want you to feel like you're walking back in time. So this is a sample of the old refrigerator that you would have then, and the old stove that was used then, and a little sink here, all the little spice rack here. We've tried to give you a showing of old-time things. Now in this room we have an old typewriter, an old Underwood typewriter that would have been used. We have an old Burroughs adding machine, and the Rolodex that you would use to find your company you were looking for. We have a radio that actually works. It's going to be a little staticky. Hold on.
Right lane traffic there heavy from 4th. This report is sponsored by Land Rover. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster.
An old-time
The
telephone.
Range Rover Evoque was designed to open your eyes to the possibilities.
We wanted to feel like you were walking back in time. And there was an effort when the people that were living here were paying rent, and then there was this the state and the Irvine family wanted to make it a park, a national park like Yosemite. And when that happened, the people living here were given 1-year lease, and then they had to move out. So they moved out, and these wheelchairs here for people who are handicapped and would like to come down to the beach, and they're free. You don't have to buy them or rent them. This beach is
much like this. They dressed it differently for the set. Hi there.
Hi.
We hear you're here today. You have some artifacts from some of the movies?
No, we have artifacts like in films,
Film days, yes.
Those were the days when they actually made films
Right.
from start to finish. Look at that splicer, for
Oh,
example.
wow.
Can you imagine sitting there hour after hour, splicing film, looking through every single scene, every single frame? Pretty tough, right? Where are you from?
I'm from Canyon Lake, and Lee is originally from Japan, but she lives in Canyon Lake, so we're kind of neighbors.
Aha! And have you ever been here before? No?
She has not, I have.
Oh. So
I
you
love it
know
here.
that this is, Crystal Cove's history is very tied to Southern California's history.
Yes. We would love to interview you if you'd care to
Sure.
be on video.
Films were made at Crystal Cove. Here they are. Starting with Treasure Island in 1920. And then later many films were made, and a very famous film was made here called Beaches with Bette Midler. And here's the So when this film was made, it became very famous, and so this cottage was one of the sets of this movie. The early movies were filmed entirely here, but the later movies have different sets in LA, in New York, and wherever. And the Beaches Cottage was a place that they went when the heroine was sick, and her best friend, Bette Midler, decided that they would go to the cottage one last time. So it was a tearjerker. And the old movies were made with this kind of equipment, and these days we can use our video recorder or our camera to make a movie. In those days, every part of the movie had a different piece of equipment to make it. And then the editing process was very laborious. So these are the relics of the, if you want it, you can go in. You want to see some of the props and some of the filmmaking equipment.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like the video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. どうもありがとうございました。シェイシェイ。バイ。